the Warner Brothers purchase, Netflix versus Paramount. Again, just interesting because just when you thought, that it was a closed deal, Netflix got this in the bag, it's over, it's just a matter of the shareholders making that vote come March, we were going to just hear about whatever that transition was going to look like. Hold on. So just when you thought it was over, Paramount managing to stay relevant to the conversation, and not just because of the motion that they filed in the courts, which played in their favor. The first step of it has played in their favor, which I'm about to get into. But apparently, apparently Netflix allowed for a time period where Warner Brothers is now willing to still sit down with Paramount to see if they have a better offer here, right? And then, so I was just talking with the homie Pin about this. It's just crazy because when you consider the fact that we're still, it's just interesting how this is playing out, I guess I would say, because Warner Brothers is now willing to see if Paramount has a better, stronger offer now, a final offer to offer. And Netflix is saying that if Paramount eventually offers something more, apparently, that they're willing to also renegotiate their deal. But I'm going to go ahead and read some of what I looked at here, and that way you guys can this is me just kind of paraphrasing it, but so this is what's happening. Warner Brothers Discovery is still in play and nothing has closed yet, but Netflix currently has the lead with a signed deal, which is what I just said, while Paramount Skydance is trying to top it, right? So this is where things stand. Warner Brothers Discovery has an agreed deal with Netflix to sell its studios, streaming, including HBO Max, and related assets for roughly low $80 billion range, from around $27 to $28 per share. And a shareholder vote is set for March 20th, as I just stated not too long ago, right? Or a couple seconds ago, right? So the shareholder vote is set for March 20th. Despite backing the Netflix deal publicly, Warner Brothers Discovery's board has reopened talks with Paramount Skydance and given them a 1-week waiver through February 23rd to deliver a best and final offer, right? So we're 3 days still to see what Paramount is going to do, right? So this is, as of right now, this is where Paramount Skydance bid stands until something else is offered, right? Paramount Skydance is pursuing a full takeover of all of Warner Brothers Discovery. So not just parts of it, but the entirety of it, which matters here because, again, what Netflix is essentially buying is just the Warner Brothers as part of it, a portion of it, while the Discovery portion still yet to see what happens with that, I guess, which is like the cable and all that stuff. Where, again, and this is why I thought personally Paramount Skydance was going to be the move, because I'm like, well, they're offering to buy the entirety of the thing. So if I'm the guy who owns everything, I'm like, man, I'd want to just clean my hands of this whole thing. But apparently, I don't know, other things are in mind. So again, Paramount Skydance is pursuing a full takeover with indications of a potential offer of around or above $31 per share, which is, again, a little bit more, but this is what has them not in the deal yet, right? So let me just say that, right? This is the deal that has them not in the deal yet, right? So keep that in mind, right? With what I'm saying here. So $31 per share, because I know you might be thinking, well, that's technically more dollars per share than what Netflix is offering, right? And a total value north of 100 billion, substantially richer than Netflix partial acquisition. Actually, let's read that closely. Actually, so total value north of 100 billion, substantially richer. Hmm. I'm trying to understand if that means, are they saying that it's 100 billion dollars more richer than the 80 billion, so it's 180 billion that they're actually offering? Um, Juan says, "Where would you like DC Warner Brothers to go?" Uh, there's really no wrong answer here, in my opinion, and I'll get into that later. But I'm gonna finish reading here. Um, so Paramount has been sweetening its proposal with things like covering Warner Brothers Discovery's breakup fee to Netflix for about 2.8 billion. So again, it's not like, again, Paramount is trying the hard to, they're really playing it. So it's not it's I get that, there's this idea that they're not doing much, but they're look, they're still in the conversation. That's what matters here, right? It's not like it's like you can just dismiss them just because oh, well, nothing's happened yet. No, they're still in the conversation. That's what makes it important, makes this important, right? So they're willing to pay for the breakup fee with Netflix, and adding a ticking fee cash per quarter if closing drags to make the package more attractive to Warner Brothers Discovery shareholders. So today, though, this is important. Paramount said that the initial U.S. antitrust waiting period for its roughly 78 billion cash component bid had expired, which is a procedural hurdle cleared, but not full Department of Justice approval or a green light to close. Okay, but nonetheless, there's something that happened and moved in their favor. Is my whole point. It's not the entirety, but it moved in that direction. Is my whole point. Um, but again, however, the Department of Justice's review isn't finished. Okay, so let's just say that again for anybody who said that there was nothing there. I'm not going to say who, but according to that, something enough for it to have been cleared, right? So now Paramount itself admits it still has no binding merger agreement with Warner Brothers Discovery. It needs to finalize terms with them, get both companies' shareholders' approvals, and clear regulators in multiple countries. So there's again a lot of moving parts, right? So now Netflix's position. Netflix has a signed board endorsed transaction with Warner Brothers Discovery, and still Warner Brothers Discovery preferred deal in official communications, as as far as like what's been stated, right? Not the verbiage there hasn't changed. Okay. Netflix granted Warner Brothers Discovery the 7-day waiver to talk to Paramount, but has signaled it may counter if Paramount comes in with a higher final bid. So again, this is good news for Warner Brothers Discovery, essentially, uh, because again, what Netflix is saying there is again, it's if Paramount does come with something that's higher that you guys are actually interested in, we're willing to counter. So Warner Brothers just is winning essentially, no matter how this plays out. Netflix executives are publicly downplaying Paramount Skydance's antitrust milestone as routine. So they're trying to make it seem, this is routine, it's okay. But again, it's like, but if there's nothing there, then there's nothing there. So, and argue that Paramount is overstating how close it is to being able to buy Warner Brothers Discovery. So again, the war continues between these two guys. So what to watch for next? So February 23rd, expected end of Warner Brother deal's waiver window to receive Paramount Skydance. So again, by February 23rd, we're going to see if Paramount comes with their best and strongest and final offer is pretty much what's happening there. But come February 26th, you have the Q4 2025 earnings call where they're expected to give some update on the bidding situation. So again, a lot more to be heard and seen and illuminated come that earnings call. And again, hopefully, I did reach out to one of my boys, guests on the one of the guests I've had plenty of times on the channel, Sil, because he's definitely more in tune with these kind of conversations and stuff. I was trying to get him on today, but he was busy, so we're trying to see what day works so we can both discuss this. And then come March 20th is the shareholder vote, right, on the Netflix deal. So um, if Paramount launches or escalates a proxy fight, that date becomes the battleground over which deal, if any, wins. Okay. So in short, Netflix has the signed deal and a scheduled shareholder vote, while Paramount's guidance just cleared an early U.S. antitrust step. And it has one last week to convince Warner Brothers Discovery's board and shareholders with a richer, fully financed offer. So again, guys, between Netflix and Paramount, things are still interesting regarding Warner Brothers. And again, money talks, man. Money talks, right? We've if you're following any of the guys that I like Sil, like that I mentioned a while ago, you tuned into his channel, and a few others too, like the Geeks Network. A few other guys are talking about this as well. I think I saw Skywalker talking about it, right? And the overall consensus is that if Paramount is really serious, they really have to. In fact, I think even I saw Snyder Queen talking about it, right? Is that Paramount has to offer something big here. If they really want Warner Brothers that bad, which they should want it that bad. Again, there's whoever acquires this, as I said before, whoever acquires Warner Brothers, you have a cachet of content beyond like recognition. Like, you'd be surprised to find out and know exactly all the intellectual properties that exist under the Warner Brothers umbrella. So whoever comes out on top here is winning big, period. You're not just because it's, and matter of fact, not even just the IPs. For Paramount, if they win, they're trying to get the whole thing. So they're even going to get the discovery aspect of it, right? The cable channels and all that. They're going to get the streaming. They're going to get the IPs. They're going to get the whatever deals, contracts Warner Brother has with said theaters and things of that nature, distribution and all that. This is not what they acquired. And again, same thing with Netflix. They will be acquiring this, right? Which is why I was big on, like, if Netflix is serious, I just hope that they realize that they have no excuse now to not go straight to theater first. You know what I'm saying? With the biggest IPs that they're about to acquire. I don't want to hear no bullshit about it going to dual release. Theater and streaming. Like, I don't want to hear none of that. Just give me theaters first. Give me theaters first. 45-day window, I guess, if that's what we're working with. If that's the norm, then so be it. But if you have to prolong it because it's doing well in theaters, then do so. If you acquire Warner Brothers, you no longer have to be so hungry to have content on your platform, because you're going to have a plethora of it. I mean, a plethora of it. I mean, it's insane when you really think about it. Let's see. We got Juan in the comment section. He says, "Fact, it's a gold mine, just waiting for the miners to come mine." Exactly. No, that's what it is. It's a gold mine, dude. And the gold mine, Paramount needs to find their miners. Whoa, what are we talking about here? Are we going Epstein files with this? I don't know. No, but anyway, so yeah, it's again, whoever acquires this, man, it's you got a cachet of just like unlimited material, and again, as a fan of a lot of what Warner Brothers has under the umbrella, more importantly, things like obviously DC related. This has to happen regardless. Like whoever purchases it, and you've been hearing me beat this drum for the longest now, and that's whoever purchases it, just please have the common sense to bring Zack Snyder back and finish, and if not, actually set that universe that was meant to be a thing finally. Because truthfully, what DC has dropped since his departure, and even what they're trying to do now with Gunn's universe, it's just not it. It's not it. I'm sorry for those who love it. I mean, hey, cool, kudos to you. But I think we can all agree, like, we're kidding ourselves if we're going to pretend like that it's anywhere on the level of like what when DC was at its highest. You know, you got a lot of weird cats out there that are making it seem like this is the best. DC has looked like it, which I just like you're kidding yourself at this point if that's where you stand. But um, this needs to happen, right? Netflix or Paramount. It's hard to say who I want there. To be honest with you, it's part of me is like Paramount, but Netflix is cool. I mean, I don't think you're going wrong either way. If I'm be honest, I don't think you're going wrong either way. Um, you know, because the reality is either way for me, the way what concerns me most is the Zack Snyder angle here, and if it's Netflix, well, he's got a good relationship with Netflix. If it's Paramount, he's got a good relationship with Paramount. What's obvious is that if you're following his tracks, this man is constantly like reminding us of his DC, from Man of Steel to BVS, Batman versus Superman to Zack Snyder's Justice League. He's reminding us almost every day to even Watchmen that was some of the best DC we've gotten in a long time, right? So, yeah, again, I don't really care who it is, but if Paramount's serious, I hope they come with something serious. But again, I think this is good either way. Either way, it's good. Um, I think though what I've said before is what I do like about the Paramount angle is that they have the experience of rolling things out into theater more than Netflix does. So that if they really need to, let's just say, come with an axe and clean up house, right? Because they're really not on board with whatever. Which honestly, I will say this: uh, DeLuca and Abdi, like they're set. They're set. I'll say that. I can say that with confidence. They're set. I guess I'm more so thinking I can see Paramount being okay with getting rid of Gunn and Saffron if they have to. That's I guess where I'm standing with that. Where at Netflix, the idea is that they might just keep everybody on board from Warner Brothers and kind of just slowly roll things out and see how it goes. Simply because I guess they don't have the full expertise of owning what they're about to own if they do acquire Warner Brothers, right? So I would say I guess that's the caveat there when it comes to Paramount is like, well, they don't need to have anybody. I mean, again, I don't want to see nobody lose their jobs, but there are a few people there that I'm okay if they lose their job. I'll just put it like that, right? And all right, let's keep it moving forward. Let's keep it funky. Again, guys, if there's any thoughts you guys have, let me know in the comment section on that. I'm always down to go back to the prior talking point.